Good morning, sir. Good morning. Mr. Douglas, how old are you? I'm 46. Were you born and raised in Los Angeles? Yes. What part of LA have you spent most of your time? Windsor Hills area? Okay, is that in South Los Angeles? Yes. What do you do for a living? I do multiple jobs. I clean the parking lot, I do inventory, oversee packaging, I run the cell phone shop. I'm on the team. Okay, and when you refer to doing all those things, do you mean you do those things for the businesses that were owned and operated by Nipsey, Joseph Askedam, or Nipsey Hussle?
Hussleinbudent 2.0, y'all already know what it is, man. Hey, just the statement. First of all, man, shouts out to Positivity Gang and all that you did. Hustling Squad, y'all already know we on it, man. Appreciate all my new subscribers, all the comments y'all leaving. I'm in the comment boxes and all that, bro. And it's gonna be like that with 100,000 subscribers. I'm telling you, I'm different, you did. But y'all know I'm, put my 2 cent up in there. You did 2 cent, 50 cent, whole dollar, all that. You dig what I'm saying? Um, this is the testimony. Forgot that word with the D. This should be something. It's something that's in the courtroom. Start with a D. Something Lil Wayne went like not a distribution, but disposition. There we go. Never go up, y'all. Disposition, testimony, but he's saying this. This is the paperwork on Cowboy and what Cowboy is saying. So all the allegations and and people words and opinions and everything people be saying and this and that, cause it's out. People saying, "Oh, Cowboy snitch, niggas from the '60s and people from his hood." That's LA politics. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't have nothing to do with the 60 business blood. LA politics and stuff, that's they shit. That's how they rock. And I'm not saying what he did is how they rock or, anything negative towards that, but that's their politics. That's they home field. They handle their own people. But let's see what's going on, because it's pretty long. So I'm gonna get a good bit in it. I'm gonna get a good. We about to see this together, and y'all know I'm gonna do my little 2 cent, but I don't want to have it long, cause it's then like an hour of this shit. You feel me? So I'm gonna let y'all know where to go after all that and all that. But this what Cowboy saying.
Yes. Let me show you Grand Jury Exhibit 2. Can you see that exhibit on the monitor? Oh, Madam Foreperson, if you would raise the monitor for the witness, please. I'm sorry. A little bit more. Okay, and is that a photograph of Joseph Askedam, also known as Nipsey Hussle? Yes. How long have you known, or how long did you know him before his passing? I met him in 2003. And if you could, how would you describe your relationship with him over the years? Just a good friend, like a son, like a dad, just overall, all around good friends. Good friend of mine. Okay, I'm sorry. Did you say what year you met him? 2003. Okay, and what was his connection to the area at 3420 Slauson? Let me show the people Grand Jury Exhibit number 4, this area. This area, the area that you referred to when you said, I work in the parking lot, I do inventory. You're talking about this area, correct? Yes. What is this area? It's a shopping center. It's a shopping center on Slauson and Crenshaw. Okay, and looking at this exhibit, there's a strip mall with certain businesses labeled Master Burger, Tax Insurance, T-Mobile, Fish, Barber. Did the Askedam family own and operate that location? Yes. Now, did they own and operate all the businesses there or just some of them? We own most. They operate most of them. 2 businesses pay rent. The Master's Burger and the tax place pay rent. We need to take that break now. I'm so sorry to interrupt your testimony, but we'll get you right back on the stand as soon as we can. Welcome back, Mr. Douglas. Go ahead and take that seat and adjust that microphone. Okay. And I have to ask you, hello? Okay. I have to ask you again if you left your cell phone outside. Yes. And have you no recording devices on you? No.
And I hope I'm not glitching or nothing like that, because the Wi-Fi turning off and on. maybe because of me. So if this video glitch a little bit, my bad. I'm just trying to keep the Wi-Fi on there. But y'all hear what's going on. Let's get the facts of the matter sometimes instead of speculating a lot of things. A lot of speculation and a lot of untrue stuff that be just floating around every day. You dig what I'm saying?
No. That was a double negative. So you do not have any recording devices, correct? Yes. Okay. All right. So, Madam Foreperson, we do need to remind the witness of the oath, but there's a short version. Yes, because the witness has previously been sworn, and the short version is section number 13, page 8. You will recall that you have been previously sworn in and you are still under oath. Please restate your name. Herman Douglas. Thank you, Mr. Douglas. And Madam Foreperson, with your permission, may Mr. McKinney proceed? Yes. Thank you. Go ahead. All right, Mr. Douglas, before the break, can you lift his monitor, please? Oh,
That's why I don't know if it's a disposition or his testimony, but he's still being recorded. This the paperwork people saying they got and they've been seeing because it's public document when you have cases and you at court and stuff like that. It's public. It's public document. That's why y'all gotta know y'all rights, because there's places y'all could be at and do things and lawfully you could do it and things like that. Once you just know, that's the main thing I just wanted to teach myself when I was younger. Like, I really want to know like the law. I really want to be know. I really know. I want to know my rights. I want to know this. I want to know that. So nobody just can handle me any kind of way. But let's keep going, y'all.
oh, Madam Foreperson, the monitor for the witness? Not a problem. Little bit more. Little bit more. Too much, Mr. Douglas? There we go. Okay. And Mr. Douglas, if that falls, just pull it back up, okay? All right. Okay, go ahead. Okay, before the break, I had asked you about Nipsey. I'll call him Nipsey because that's what you called him, right? Yes. Nipsey's connection to this area, and you said that the family owned this entire plaza and operated the barbershop, what was going to be the fish restaurant, the T-Mobile store, and the Marathon clothing store, correct? Yes. And then they leased out the business, the space for the Master Burger, and the tax and insurance business, correct? We have the insurance company too. Okay. That's all storage. Okay. And just so the record's clear, you're referring to Grand Jury Exhibit number 4. Go ahead. How often did Nipsey visit this area? Let's say in the year before his death. How often would he come by this location? If he was in town, I would see him just about maybe every morning. He would roll up, like maybe he'd catch me out there maybe 8:30 in the morning, 7:30, or I would see him going down Slauson to drop his daughter off. If he was in town and he wasn't on a show, he would show up just about every day, every other day. Okay, in the morning times. In the year before his death, give us a sense of how often that was. I would say 3-4 times a week if he's in town. If he was in town? Yeah. How often? Were there some months when he wouldn't come at all? No.
Now look how detailed it is. They're gonna be very detailed with certain things, and people got the ear for it and the vision for it. If you, that's the fact of the matter. Yeah, it's not video clips and picture clips and stuff, but you can see the paperwork. You know what I'm saying on there, and you see every word for word. She do some whoever channel this is, well, she did pretty good work with this, because you get the facts of the matter to evaluate it yourself to see if somebody tell it or not. So it's gonna be like y'all opinions and y'all mindsets and what y'all think about this video. You dig what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna say what I feel about it too, but you get to see the truth of the matter in this black and white statement.
Okay, so if he had a busy work schedule or whatever it may be, if he was in town, he was definitely coming by the shop. So is it fair to say that he visited this area at least once every month in the year prior to his death? Yes. And it would vary depending on what his schedule was, whether he would be there a couple of times a week or maybe some weeks not at all? Yes. When he visited this location, were they public appearances? Were they announced visits? Or would he just stop by and just work the businesses? He would just stop by. When he was there, generally speaking, what would he do? Normally, he would roll up and he'd just be in his car most of the time texting or whatever. He would get out of the car occasionally and talk to people, but most of the time he would roll up and basically sit in his car, you know. If he had an appearance or if it was a public event, then we would all know. So he normally would just roll up on his own. When he visited on prior occasions, that's prior to March 31st, would he typically arrive there alone or with security? Always by himself. He would always, only time he ever really had security is when he was on the road or on tour. As far as being in the inner city or coming to the job, he never had security ever.
See, Cowboy testimony to me, it's honest, and he just saying that honestly, like a just do for Nipsey. He just saying his honest truth or whatever like that. And it's not incriminating nobody. He's not saying this person did this person did that. They just asking him nonchalant questions. Cause it get tricky. I gotta listen. Things get tricky. And what will a person to say that's not in that professionalism, that's not court or justice educated, like know the law system, know certain things and know what to say, and because a lot of these people know about the mind and they know a lot about the brain and about the mind and certain questions they'll probably ask you six or 12 questions of the same questions but in a different way, and just seeing how you answering them. So certain things it seem like the person who questioned him, it seemed like it's more than Nipsey favorite because it's like it's detailed to what Nipsey did and what he do and all that.
Were you expecting to see him on March 31st? No. When did you first become aware that he was at the location that day? Just that day I was doing my normal rounds or whatever it may be, and I looked out and he pulled up in the parking lot. Approximately what time did he get there? You know, I have no idea, but it had to be around lunchtime because I just ordered my lunch. So I normally take a lunch around 1, so I'm not really sure of the exact time though. And if you could tell us, was there anything distinctive about the way he was dressed that day? Nipsey? Yes. Distinctive? I remember he had on some shorts. Do you recall whether he had anything on his head? Oh yeah, the do-rag on his head. What color was the do-rag? I'm not sure. I can't recall offhand. Alright, let me show you. I want to say blue, I'm not sure. I'm going to show you a part of a video from Grand Jury Exhibit number 11. Before you do that, Mr. Douglas, can you explain to the grand jurors who may not know what a do-rag is? It's like a wave cap to keep your hair. It's a wave cap, something to keep your hair when you get it braided, something to put on your head so it won't frizz up. Thank you. All right, Grand Jury Exhibit number 11 has a video from 3 different cameras. This will be cam number 6, and this particular clip has a date and time stamp at the top left. I'm going to go to 13:42 and 50 seconds and ask you to watch some of this video here. And I want to call your attention. Let me approach. I want to call to your attention to the top of the right portion of the video as we look at it, okay? I'll start it at 13:42:29. We're looking up here.
See, a lot of the stuff that this person prosecuted, it sound like the prosecutor. What it sound like? They're very detailish. And what they asking and what they seeing, they're associating it with Nipsey Hussle murder. So everything that they saying is detailing who Nipsey is, what he does, what he was doing, where he was at, who was with him. Because it could get tricky even for Cowboy. You know, it could get tricky because it's like, it's not dry snitching. I'm not saying he's telling or nothing like that. But sometimes you put yourself in that when they want to, sometimes they want to put you at the scene. They want to, I don't want to say the word motive or whatever, not for Cowboy or against Cowboy, but they were trying to get Cowboy to admit that he was there. He was on the scene. He witnessed it. He was around the murder. You see what I'm saying? So they detailing a lot of stuff and they having video and they when they do the video thing and all that, they just want to make sure Cowboy put himself there. They can say he was there. He's because they saying he's a witness for Nipsey. So just clearing certain things up.
Now, in the interest of time, I'm going to advance this clip to 1346 and ask you to focus on that same. Did you see a dark colored vehicle pull in and park in front of the barbershop? Yes. Okay, I'm going to ask you to continue to focus on that video, and I'm going to go to 1346. You see the person getting out of that vehicle? Yes. Do you recognize who that is? Yes. Who is that? Nipsey Hussle. Okay, he's walking across the lot. Do you see him greeting someone? Yes. Do you know who that person is? Rimpao. And finally, someone just appeared to walk out of the Marathon store. Do you know who that is? That's me. So does this video clip accurately show Nipsey's arrival to the store that day? Yes. Now, I'm letting the video play at this point. It's at 42:37. And while it's playing, it appears that you, Nipsey, and Rimpao are all talking to each other in the parking lot. Is that correct? Yes. Did you continue to talk to Nipsey and Rimpao for the next, 10, 15 minutes or so? Yes. I'm going to pause that video at that point at 13:47:35. And I want to show you grand jury number 3. Do you recognize the person shown here? Yes. Who is that? That's Shitty. Do you know him by another name other than Shitty? Eric now. What did you know him by on that day? Shitty. Did you learn that his true name is Eric Holder after that day? Yes. Did you know him prior to that day? Yes. What did you know about him before that day?
Man, gotta be, I see a lot with a lot of people, it getting heavy. Because at the end of the day, Cowboy is Nipsey like OG, that's his big homie. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a family thing with them. You dig? But Cowboy is saying names. He is saying, they asking stuff, but he's saying, yeah, I do know that person. I do know this person. I do know that person. So you can look at it like that too. 'Cause at the end of the day, he do know these people. And these people know that he know these people. So just saying it's gonna be y'all opinion, y'all mindset on in the comment boards. Y'all wanna see part 2 of this and all that. I'm gonna speed up a little bit more. I'm gonna let this little piece play out, but I'm gonna speed up a little bit more in a few seconds. Cause I want y'all to get the clarity of it and the understanding.
I just know he was from the neighborhood. What does that mean, from the neighborhood? He's one of the neighborhood homies, one of the homies from the hood. Now, you testified earlier that this area of Crenshaw and Slauson is an area. Well, maybe you didn't. Let me ask you. Is there a gang that hung out, sort of claimed the area where the shopping center is? That's the Rolling 60s. How do you know that it's the Rolling 60s neighborhood? That's where I'm from. Okay, so you're a member of the Rolling 60s gang? No, I'm an ex-member, but yes. Okay, and what about Nipsey? Do you know if he was from Rolling 60s? Yes. And what about Holder? Yes. Do you? Yes. You believe he was too? Yes, he was. Okay, did you see Eric Holder that day? Yes. How did you first become aware that he was at the location? When he pulled up in the car, Nipsey had spotted him and he asked Rimpao, "Is that Shitty?" So going back to grand jury exhibit number 4, you said when he pulled up in the car, first of all, can you describe the car that you saw him arrive in? I just remember, I think it was a white car. I really couldn't remember what kind of make. Maybe a Honda or something. I'm not sure. All I remember, it's a type of white car. Okay, did you see that car enter the parking lot from...
And now let me refresh y'all mental and give y'all 101 street etiquette, right? Telling and being a snitch is Me doing it now, it's dry snitching, and there's other types of ways you could tell to get yourself out of trouble. So let's break that down in a few seconds. If I do a crime with you, if I get caught for it and I tell on you to lessen my time or to get out of jail, I snitched on you. Now, if I was with you or her, whatever, if I whoever watching, if I'm with, if say it's two of y'all and me, and we go do something that's a crime, and they catch one of y'all, and y'all don't say nothing, so they don't really got no case, and they bring me in and they sit me down and ask me, do I know you, or who do you know? Asking me questions like if I know y'all, and I'm like, yeah. Boom. That's gonna put more pressure on y'all too. Instead of me not just saying nothing, say, hey, I want my lawyer here. I don't want to say anything. I don't know what I'm here for. Instead of just me not saying nothing, and that's the law. You got the right to remain silent. You got the right. So if I say, yeah, I know her, and how you know her? Woo. Yeah, this and happened, and we got them two. We know you had something to do with it. So what happened that night? Oh, and I'm like, oh well, start trying to do the. Sometimes people try to do the right thing, but they talking. The number one rule is not to say anything, right? That's true, because you could get caught up. That's why they say don't say nothing until you got a real counsel, because you could get caught up in your words, because they record everything and they write down everything. So I'm just saying, it's ways of telling and not to. Is ways people can look at it,
A lot from one of the streets. Yes. How did it enter? Off of Slauson. Okay, I'm pointing to Slauson Avenue. Yes. Did it enter into the driveway closest to the barber shop? Yes. And that means that when it entered, it was facing southbound, correct? Facing south. Meaning facing the Marathon store? Yes. And then what did the car do after it pulled into the lot? Turned in and parked over there by, I guess over by those red cars over here. It came across and pulled in right over here somewhere. Over where I'm holding the pointer? Yeah, somewhere close like that, about there. So basically parked in front of the Master Burger, correct? Yeah, but closer to these cars though, yeah. Closer to the row of cars that's in the northern part of the parking lot? Yes. That's closer to Slauson? Yes. And if you're going left to right, the number 2 car is a red car. So it was right in front of that car? Front or behind that car? Right in between those two, somewhere up in there. Okay. And you testified that. This is a good time to break. Okay. I'm so sorry.
They did a break. I'm gonna let y'all know where the fine is at. I'm gonna speed up a little bit.
Other people came up and for autographs or something, and were those women or men? There was a couple. I think two guys came and took photos, and I think maybe 2 different females might have come and took some photos too. So do you know where they had come from? Just in the parking lot, leaving out the store. The lady, she had left out the store and said to Nipsey, oh, I got a shirt. Can you sign it for me? Basically, we'd get tourists around the world every day prior to this, so just in the parking lot. So you can't say where one of the women specifically came from, but someone came up.
Now, did this woman come out of Marathon with a shirt, or did this woman already walk up and say, oh, I got a shirt, Nipsey, can you sign it for me? Think about that. Now, they didn't say she came out the store and had a Marathon bag. She just they would have said that. They detailed this. They said this woman had a shirt for Nipsey to sign. She might just had a shirt, just having a shirt. I don't know. That's kind of weird. That a chick could just, yeah, Nipsey, I had a shirt, one of your shirts. Can you sign it? She probably left out the store, didn't have a shirt. Or she probably just had a shirt in the car. Who knows? But that's kind of weird. It's like taking somebody out there, trying to get somebody's attention in a way. I speed up a little bit, so it's gonna be a hella long videos, but let's get a little bit more.
Came up to him for a picture. Definitely, the couple, they definitely came out of the store with their marathon bags. So definitely two to three of those people came out of our store.
So there you go.
Okay, and they had bags and they had stuff for him to sign. And a woman wanted him to sign a t-shirt? Uh-huh, yes. Yes. And then there were two other women or one other woman? I want to say too, people approached him. If he's not taking care of business and he's out there taking pictures, people will approach him. So my question to you is, Mr. Douglas, do you know where those additional women had come from, or you didn't see where they had come from? You just saw that they got close to him and then asked him? Yes, like we were talking and maybe they'll come up behind us and say, hey, can I get an autograph? Like we're in between a couple of cars, so people come behind us and say, hey, Nip, can I get a picture or whatever? Okay, so there was someone, you just don't know where they came from. Yeah, they were in the parking lot. Okay, they were in one of the stores maybe. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Douglas. Go ahead. Okay, and for the record, this is Grand Jury Exhibit number 9. The one person I didn't ask you about yet is the person at the top here who you previously identified as Eric Holder. It's hard to see him in the group, but is it fair to say that this photo was taken during the conversation that you described Holder having with Nipsey? Yes. During that conversation, do you recall a young woman walking up and right in the middle of the conversation taking a selfie with Nipsey? Do you remember that or not? I remember somebody came. I think I remember. If it wasn't one, maybe two people might have did selfies. I'm not sure. He took a couple of photos. Okay, let me go back. I'm going to show you that video that I showed you earlier. This is camera 6 from Grand Jury Exhibit number 11, I believe. Yes. Yes. The same one as the last time. Camera 6? Yes. I'm going to forward through the time to 13:55 as it appears on the video. I'm not going to be able to place it precisely, so I'll just start it here, 13:55:17. So in the lot at this point is you, Rimpao, and Nipsey talking, correct? Uh-huh. Is that a yes? Yes. Thank you. And you guys are right here at the top of the image, correct? Yes. Now, we just saw a white car pull in. Did you see that? Yes. Is that the car that you testified Holder was in? Yes. So at this point, 13:56:14, Nipsey had already looked at the car and said, is that shitty? Yeah, yes. So at this point, while the car is sitting there at 13:56:47, it looks like a gentleman came from out of the store and walked up. Appears.
We're going to start listening a little bit. I know it getting long. I know it's interesting, too. It's like a story. It's like reading a book. Fun to mental. Fun to mental. Let's get it.
To be getting some kind of autograph or something. Did you see that? It appears like that. Is that true? Yes. And standing next to Nipsey, still you and Rimpao, correct? Yes. Now, look at the white car at the bottom, 13:57:10. Is that Holder getting out? Yes. And at 13:57:21, did you see where he went to? Yes. Where did he go? The Master Burgers. Okay, 13:57:35. It appears the car he arrived in is turning now to face your direction, correct? Yes. And I want you to focus on the Master Burger at the top of the screen. Did you see that person just walk out at 13:58? Yes. Follow him. Is that Eric Holder? Yes. He appears to not be wearing a shirt. Is that correct? Yes. And he appears to come over and shake Nipsey's hand at that point. Is that true? Yeah. So the group at this point is Nipsey, Rimpao, you, Eric Holder, and this person who came out of the store for what appeared to be an autograph, correct? Yes. Do you see the young lady getting out of the white car? Yes. At 13:58:40, she walks up to the group of you. Is that correct? Yes. Did you notice her at the time? Not at all. Okay.
Hussleinbudent 2.0. I know it could get long. It's long, y'all. You did this. Look up full testimony of Nipsey Hussle friend Cowboy. Y'all gonna see that logo. Y'all go check it out. Cause y'all wanna chill, smoke, whatever y'all wanna do, get in y'all vibes and check it out in a good positive mindset and you know, decipher it yourself for how you feel and how you think. You know, me personally, you never know what type of situation and position you'll be in until you in it, and especially if it's like your friend and something like you a family member, really, and this person, mom and that, family looking at you to get some justice for their son and saying you a homeboy and this and that. I mean, and it could go on the. I'm just saying from that premise, and another premise could be like, they gang members, and they in the streets with it. They got oaths and rules and regulations that you can't bend for your benefit. So I can't just call this man a rat or a snip because it's not a crime he committed or he did. But being associated with the world he from ain't gonna look good for what this testimony is, if this testimony true or not, or it's gonna be hard to write up something like this. And it already just came out. So me personally, I don't feel like nothing. I don't feel like I seen the whole thing, and I still don't. I feel like certain questions he asked the right way because they got video. They know who he is. So the questions, a lot of questions they ask, and he can't say, "Oh, nah, that ain't me. I wasn't there. I wasn't doing that. I don't know who that is." Like, so certain questions, when y'all hear him saying, "Yeah," he just saying shit. Y'all got the video. I'm there clearly in certain spaces and spots. So when y'all see the whole video and y'all see the whole thing, y'all get y'all own mind frame and clarity about it, man. And go ahead and hit that comment board. Y'all already know what it is, man. Keep God first. Love yourself. Stay positive. Walk light. Be light-minded out here, y'all. Hey, y'all already know what it is. I'm coming back with another video tomorrow, man. I'm on this, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Long little Nipsey. For real. Shouts out to DJ Ghost.